Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jay McGregor. We are in a big discussion over several different training videos of how to select data or using the different selection commands. And we are also looking at the very cool command called Selection Explorer. So we started this discussion in the previous video for Select Similar. We're going to continue with the Selection Explorer command. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go turn on all of the layers, whole file, and let me show you something. Ladies and gentlemen, whenever you bring in a file or you import a file into TBC, not only does it remember which files came in, let's go look at that. Let's go to the Project Explorer. Under Imported Files, see, these are all of the different files, images, AutoCAD, VCLs. I, I, I don't care. Whatever files were imported into this particular data set, into this project, it remembers the file name. But, but ladies and gentlemen, it also does an extremely cool thing automatically. In the background, it knows which entities came in with which particular file. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So I'm going to go to this AutoCAD file. What graphics or what entities came in with that file itself? You can highlight it. You can right mouse key. It's called Select Similar. Select Members. Sorry. Select Members. So doing Select Members actually grabs the objects. See, there were 4,905 things that came in with that original AutoCAD file. Now, let me just tell you, if you deleted certain objects, it doesn't remember those anymore. If you broke certain objects and made multiple or different entities after they came in, give me an example. If you read in a bunch of lines and they came in as polylines. If you break them, extend them, join them, and they turn into line strings, well, now those are totally different objects and they are lost. They are no longer part of the original object base that came in with that particular CAD file. But let me also prove to you like this. So I'm going to deselect. Okay. I also told you that if you took the time after you selected data, if you then went right mouse key and went to Selection Explorer, I'm going to go back to Selection Explorer, it has the capability of remembering the entities that you assign to a word or a name. Let's go to this Jay's Road Lines. There's the 57 things. Okay. Well, look at this. The AutoCAD file right there. Look at that. I'm going to pick that. It grabs the 4,905 things. So, ladies and gentlemen, every file that imports also creates an automatic Selection Explorer name for that file, just uses the file name, but it creates a Selection Explorer name, and that's how it knows what is select members for that. Okay, all right. Let's go pick Jay's Road. Sorry, I misspelled that. So I picked that. It grabbed those 57 things. Well, a Selection Explorer name has even more capabilities. So watch this. So how can I just see the objects for a particular file name or for a particular Selection Explorer name? How can I just, because they could be on different layers and different colors. Wow, how do I do that? Well, here's the next cool thing that you can use a Selection Explorer name to do. So if you go to the top of the view filter right here, ladies and gentlemen, word everything. meaning display everything, display all of the objects for the selection. Okay, great. But see, what I can physically do here is I can go pick the down arrow next to this word everything, and I can say, hey, please just show me the 57 objects that I assigned to that Selection Explorer name last week. Oh, wow, cool. These are on different layers. Now they are in the same color, but they're on different layers. That is on a layer called Road B Finish. That is on a different layer, Road A Finish. So, ladies and gentlemen, taking the time to create a Selection Explorer name, extremely excellent. Give you another use of the Selection Explorer. If you ever create a surface, okay, if you do create surface, when you do create surface and you go select whatever you want and you make a model or a surface, in the background, it creates a Selection Explorer name automatically. Again, cool command. The Selection Explorer command is just fabulous. Another thing, though, about the Selection Explorer that I want to look at here is this. Once you go grab those things, let's say these 57 entities, some of them had names, some of them didn't, but these had roads, or these came from our roads. Well, look here. There is an edge of pavement, there's a flow line, there's a TBC for top, back, or curb. Yeah, I'd like to go grab all of the edge of pavements in here. Well, I don't want to zoom in and pick around that and pick, and I don't want to do that. Let me show you another subtle thing about the Selection Explorer. So if you have grabbed objects that have names, if you simply come up here to the top of that column where the word name is, pick it one time, it regroups everything and groups them in order by the name. So watch this. I can select that first EP entity. I can shift, hold down the shift key. I'm pressing the shift key on the keyboard. I'm grabbing the last EP entity. And now what I can do is I can right mouse key and go to properties and say, I'd like to put them on different layers in different colors for my data set going to the hardware. So I could put these, all of these lines that are on different layers, I'd like to put them on the same layer. Press the space bar and make a layer called proposed. Learn how to type, Jay. Proposed dash EP. Give them a different color. I'll make them magenta. I'll make them line weight of 1. And I will assign them to a layer group. Now, you see why they're thick, but they're all blue. Well, what happens? What goes on there? I will tell you this, ladies and gentlemen. When you create a corridor and you go through and you explode the corridor, when it makes lines, I don't like this, but it automatically assigns the color from the surface to the line entity itself. See, all of these are color to the entity. It's not color by layer. So as a sideline thing that Jay does, once I explode my corridors, I go to the color, to property colors for all of them, and I set it to color by layer. I prefer color of the layer that it's on. So if I put it on a different layer, it changes color automatically. I did want you to see that. So, oh, wait a minute. Okay. All of those are on another layer in a different color. Okay, fine. Great. Now I'm going to go grab all of the flow lines. Since I reorganized them into the Selection Explorer by name, listed or grouped together by name, I pick the first entity called flow line. I scroll down a bit, shift, I'm holding the shift key, pick the last flow line. I'm going to take those lines. Again, I'm getting them prepared for the hardware in the field. I'm going to put them all on one layer called prop flow line. I'll make it color green. I will give it a little bit of width. I will put it in a layer group. So while I'm doing this, I'm going to do this for all, but while I'm doing this, it is listing and regrouping, and I'm selecting them quickly and easily by their name that I used when I was creating the template. So that's just another reason that I always name my nodes in my template, and I try to take notice of the particular name of them. Okay, I'm now going to grab all the right away, put them on another layer, prop, ROW, make it cyan. I won't make it thick. I will put them in the layer group. Okay, I'm going to go take all the top of curve, the first top of curve, hold down the shift key, the last top of curve. Okay, all of this is in consideration of you naming the nodes, and when you selected them, you could reorder them by the column name. I use that quite extensively, ladies and gentlemen. It is very, very, very handy, and I do love it. I'm making this red. I am going to make it color thickness 1. So you see, I'm building all of this. Okay. And the last thing is the name. See, road A baseline, road B, the line at where the baseline was has the name of the baseline. So I'm going to take those are the center lines, and I'm going to put them on a layer called prop CL. I'm going to make them very prominent. I'm going to leave them white. That's the darkest, boldest color on your hardware. So, boys and girls, I have actually utilized the Selection Explorer by the name of the entity to quickly relayer this data cleanly to different layers and different colors, and I have excellent preparation for getting ready for this to go to the field, to the hardware. But it stemmed into or worked by utilizing the Selection Explorer command. So again, ladies and gentlemen, Selection Explorer is really, really, really great command. I highly recommend you try to play with it and get familiar with it. It gives you a lot of different capabilities in many, many ways. Thanks so very much. Hello, thanks very much for reviewing my training video. I do hope that it was helpful for you. My name is Jay McGregor, and I would like to tell you about my background and experience. If you've already heard this, please close the video at this point. Back in 1987, I began working with +3 Software, and that company is the one that started writing and developing the program called TerraModel. In 1988, when TerraModel started shipping, myself and Bill Denny became the training department for that particular software package. That progressed until Spectra Physics bought us, and Spectra Physics changed their name to Spectra Precision, and in 1996, Spectra Precision started developing and creating the first machine control system that they were doing was called Blade Pro 3D. That was being controlled by the geodometer total station, tracking the 360-degree prism, so you could get fine grading out of the Blade Pro 3D system. And for that first year, myself and another gentleman in my department made all of the models for the machine control that was sold before they started letting the client start making their models for themselves. In 2011, Trimble created the Trimble Certified Trainer Program, and I became a certified trainer on Trimble Business Center back then. And since then, I have been training on the software and using it for 3D blade machine control and any software hardware system out there. I can create 3D models for all of the Trimble and the TopCon systems. I have also been training since that time on real world projects to train the clients and the dealers' clients, whatever their software and project demands were. And I still continue to do that type of training, 3D data prep, and technical support even to today. I do hope that you enjoyed hearing about this. And if you have any more questions, I would definitely love to hear from you. My email is at the bottom. It's jaymcgregor@bellsouth.net. Love to hear you and hope to see you in the future. Have a great day. Thank you very much.